My name is Douglas Wynn, and I was formerly incarcerated at San Quentin State Prison, doing a three-strike term of 20 years, in which I served 20 years. During the course of my incarceration, I was in denial. I spent a lot of time alone, and even were working within my jobs in the prison, I still was pretty much a loner. A friend of mine, Frank Smith, for about 2 years, tried to convince me to become part of CRI. And I sort of kept saying to myself, I really didn't need any help. And about 6 months or so later into our conversation, Frank mentioned CRI again. And I told him, I said, okay, let me get me signed up, and we'll see what I can do. And that was the best move that I made during the course of my incarceration, was becoming part of CRI. Because CRI really allowed me to look at myself and see how I was in denial. I had lost my voice at that time, so it was difficult being a part of the class because I couldn't speak. But everybody made me feel welcome and as if I were family. I remember one session in class that really touched me was when Colette was talking about victims. And she mentioned, who in the room here feels like they had a victimless crime? And I was one of two people that raised their hand. I was incarcerated for felony evading a high-speed chase. And I raised my hand, like I say, it's a victimless crime. And in reality, going through CII, it made me focus and see all the people that I had put at risk. The people that were waiting to get on the freeway, a car that was actually on the freeway. The students who were walking around as I exit, going into Long Beach State University. And by the grace of God, nobody was hurt. And I was really able to go back and really look at the person who I had became. And I no longer wanted to be this person. And CRI really opened my eyes to seeing how ugly I had became. I graduated from high school, Long Beach Poly, attended UCLA, graduated from UCLA, and I was very successful. But instead of doing the things that I was taught to do, I went after the lifestyle of greed. I turned into a habitual liar. I became a gambler, and was very successful in gambling. But also with being successful, I was deceiving clients as well as my family, members and friends, to support my habit of gambling. And that became very, very ugly. And through CII, I've learned that I could be me. I could take off the mask that I would have been wearing and be myself. I went to the parole board on December 11th, and I was granted parole. And as all people in that situation, we're very elated once we get the news that we're granted parole. And during that process, 120 days before the governor's review, etc., I was waiting, and all of a sudden in April the 9th, they came to me with parole papers to sign. And for the first time I discovered, because as I mentioned, when I went to the board, Roland's house was the only transitional housing that I had put down on the paper and where I wanted to go because of the comfort of being amongst family. But on April the 9th, when they brought me my parole papers and I signed them, I seen that they were sending me to Orange County, the county of commitment. All of this time, the 120 days I'm awaiting to finally get to sign these papers, I'm under the impression I'm coming home to Roland's house. and I'm going to be amongst family. And that thought of being away from family and having to be forced into an environment of being paroled to the county of commitment, you could only imagine what my mind was thinking. Going from a comfort zone to an unknown zone and not knowing what I would be walking into in Orange County. My only thought was, how could I get a hold of CRI or a member of CRI and let them know the twist that was being put down by someone to have me paroled to the county of commitment. I was able to call a member of CRI, and that person was able to get a hold of another person in CRI and inform them of our circumstances. April the 14th, I walked out the gate, and at that moment I was picked up by a member of CRI. We still did not know where I was going to be brought to. Was I going to CRI, or was I going to be taken to a bus or train station and go to Orange County? I could only continue to pray that God's will would be done and I'd be allowed to stay here in Northern California and parole to Roland's house. About 20 minutes into our ride, a CRI member called, and we were informed to go have breakfast and, things were being looked into. About 45 minutes later, the person called and stated that I would be going to Roland's house, and I was elated. I was coming home. You could, oh man, the tears of joy that ran down my face. It was overwhelming. And that was the happiest moment I felt in years, that I was coming home. Once here at Roland's house, I was welcomed in by all the other members here. We greeted each other, hugged each other. And as we were back then and as we are now, we're family. As I mentioned during my course of my incarceration, my immediate family and I, the communication I had with them was limited. I had several brothers and sisters, 4 who passed away. I have numerous nieces and nephews. And through CRI, I was able to see them for the first time in years. A lot of my nieces and nephews were 4 or 5 years old when I came to prison. They now have children of their own. And I was able to see them and talk with them over the phone. CRI has enabled me to be reunited with my family and continue to give me the love of my family here at CRI, and forever they will be a part of my family. And that's what this program has meant to me. And I pray for anyone else who was in denial, as I was, would take off the mask and allow themselves the opportunity to change their life and really live and be surrounded by the love of God and CRI. Thank you.